Have you ever worked so hard to save up and finally afford those expensive luxury shoes, and for a time they were your go-to because they gave you confidence, but then, well, you actually became embarrassed to wear them because your favorite shoes became old and worn out? In this video, I'll be sharing my easy steps to properly and safely revive your favorite luxury leather shoes, as well as remove any fears you may have by sharing some major do's and don'ts when it comes to cleaning, conditioning, and conserving your expensive footwear. Hey guys, my name is Evan, and it's my goal to share the skills and tools needed to love your leather. I'm excited to get your shoes back on your feet, so let's get to it. First things first, let's remove these laces so that we can gain full access to the leather in order to clean it thoroughly. Remember, leave no area unscrubbed. Secondly, black laces are great to have because unlike white laces, they hide dirt and grime well, and I'd say too well. So let's grab some cleaner to agitate and soak them to release any oils or dirt. Before we give our luxury shoes a deep clean, I wanted to address and restore something important. A high traffic area that receives a lot of friction is the heel and ankle portion of your shoe because it often rubs against your socks and jeans every time you insert your foot, as well as with each step taken. This obviously fades and dries out the leather pigment, so our solution, well, if it's really bad like these shoes, we'll be dyeing it back, but oftentimes you can simply apply some leather conditioner or cream to rehydrate the leather, and the color should restore as well. Now I'd say there's all kinds of leather dyes out there on the market, but Fiebing's leather dye has always provided the best results for me. It comes with a wool dauber, but you may need a sponge brush to get in all those nooks and crannies. So Fiebing's leather dye is so pigmented that I found that mixing a ratio of 2/3 rubbing alcohol to 1/3 leather dye to be the perfect solution. To make things easy and minimize mess, I'll be using a refillable marker. As a leather restorationist, I pull this marker out all the time for both small and big jobs, and I never have to worry about it spilling or drying out because it comes with an easy on and off cap. Links in the description below. I'd say that faded leather is one of the most prominent reasons why people stop wearing and or throw away their shoes. It's not necessarily that their shoes are not wearable anymore, it's just that most people aren't aware that there's a simple solution. And more times than not, the faded areas usually occur as scuffs and wear near the front of the shoe. Drop a comment below if you have this problem. First off, you can prevent this by properly hydrating your leather with conditioner or cream, but secondly, you can easily restore the color with leather dye like we're doing now, though this may not be as easy with lighter colors. And because we're using an alcohol-based leather dye, this process will dry very quickly. I will note that if you have any contrast stitching or other colors of leather on your shoes, you'll want to be extra careful not to dye the wrong areas. And remember, you can always use masking tape to protect any areas you don't want to color. And as you guys can see, this leather is just soaking up the dye, restoring it to its original color. You can even use the same process with suede and rough out leather dye for your suede shoes. Just note that you may want to avoid any contrast stitching. I'm excited to use my favorite cleaner by today's sponsor, ShoeMGK. It's safe to use on almost any material in both cleans and conditions. It's concentrated, so it doesn't take too much to do the job, and honestly, one bottle has lasted me over 100 cleans. As the saying goes, out of sight, out of mind. An often neglected area to care for is your insole. Not only does this get dirty, but it's the main hub for odor caused by bacteria from the sweat and oils of your feet. And as you can see, even these luxury leather insoles are disgusting, but that just makes the cleaning that much more satisfying. Comment below if you agree. Guys, I cringe when I see well-meaning novices share their DIY hacks for cleaning leather, like using all-purpose cleaners, toothpaste, and many other things that just simply aren't formulated for leather. Take for example, I just watched a video where a guy scrubbed up his luxury leather shoes with an abrasive toothpaste, claiming that it removes stains, but in the long run, doing such a thing will completely dry out your leather and even remove the finish. So I decided to make a proper cleaning video for you guys with reasons behind why and how I clean. On top of neglecting insoles, many people fail to clean the inside of their shoes, and I understand it does take a little bit more effort than people want to do, but I promise you it's worth it when it comes to your luxury shoes. I'll be taking some shoe cleaner and a horsehair dauber brush in order to easily access hard to reach areas inside the shoe. From there, I'll brush each portion and wipe it off immediately after. A little bit about our sponsor. ShoeMGK creates all kinds of products to help us respect our shoes, and I found that their cleaner and conditioner, after testing it on hundreds of different shoes, to be the best on the market. I personally love that it's safe to use and versatile because I can clean anything from Air Jordan shoes to Doc Marten boots to Gucci sneakers like these. If you want the results that I get, feel free to give them a try and save yourself some cash by using my code AVAMIS at checkout for 20% off and free shipping. I've watched video after video where people have taken their luxury shoes and completely soaked them with their cleaner and water. This can be detrimental to your leather for multiple reasons. Number 1, it can ruin the shape of your leather. Number 2, it can damage the leather fiber's integrity, which can lead to cracking. Number 3, it can discolor or fade your leather. Number 4, it can shrink your leather. Number 5, it can ruin the overall texture or feel of your leather. So in other words, if you use a cleaner on your leather, don't use cleaners that are not formulated for leather. Don't use a lot of water or too much cleaner. Don't allow it to soak into the leather. What to do? Do use specially formulated leather cleaners because they will prolong the life of your leather and condition it appropriately. Do test an inconspicuous area on your leather before applying it throughout the rest of it. And do use a soft brush to build up suds and then wipe it with a cloth immediately to remove the dirt, dust, and debris. And after letting our laces soak for a bit, it's crazy to see just how dirty they were. I've watched other videos where they suggest separately machine washing and drying your laces, but I think that's a complete waste of time and energy. Just squeeze out the excess water and run them through a towel. Any excess moisture will quickly air dry. We are almost finished, and this next step is vitally important to the longevity of your leather. As I always say, filling out your leather with shoe trees is a must, though if you have any packing paper or even plastic bags, they can do a decent job to prevent creasing and cracking as well as maintain the shape of your shoes. Yet another great product from ShoeMGK. You guys want to use a leather conditioner or leather cream to rehydrate your leather. This step is probably the most important step in this entire video because leather will crack, fade, and break down if it's not hydrated. So just like your skin, if you strip all of its natural oils without reapplying something like lotion, you may get dry, cracky, and ashy. But since your body naturally creates those oils, you're often just fine. But since leather is no longer actively producing oils, it's our job to take care of it. Some important things to keep in mind: don't forget to reapply conditioner to your leather after you've just cleaned it. Don't use too much cleaner or conditioner because it may leave a film or attract dirt. Don't use creams on suede or nubuck because it may ruin the supple texture. But if you have any similar sneakers to these, you can use ShoeMGK's leather cream all throughout the shoe except on any suede portions for a hydration barrier as well as an effortless like new shine. An often neglected area is the rubber midsole. A quick hack is applying some neutral polish or leather cream to both hydrate and shine up the rubber. This will prevent the rubber from cracking as well as elevate your sneakers all the more. In order to thoroughly and evenly disperse all of the oils and waxes, we want to use a horsehair shoe shining brush. Some things to keep in mind: don't brush too hard. Achieving a shine doesn't come from pressure, but friction. Do brush vigorously. You won't be able to disperse or shine your leather if you're not moving fast enough. Don't brush too little. Oftentimes people stop brushing too soon, so make sure you're thorough. There is no such thing as over brushing your leather. If you find these do's and don'ts valuable, please let me know in the comments below. We are almost done. We just need to lace back up these shoes. There are all kinds of methods to lacing, but I prefer simply lacing inward because it gives a clean look. What about you guys? I am so thrilled with how these Gucci sneakers came out, and they've gone from faded and worn to ready to wear. The question is, are you ready for the before and after? Let's get to it. If you guys found value in this video, you have to check out these ones next. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and sharing the video with a friend so that I can keep bringing you content like this. Thanks for watching, and remember to love your leather.